LiberalViewer present.
So, I thought the outrage against David Letterman this week for telling a joke about Sarah Palin's daughter getting knocked up by New York Yankee Alex Rodriguez was a little overblown and even trumped up, as you can see, for example, from Sean Hannity on Fox News in this clip.
The Fire David Letterman movement is growing. Outraged citizens are now calling for the late-night talk show host to get booted off the air for his remarks that he made last week about Alaska Governor Sarah Palin's teenage daughter and about the governor herself. Now, protesters will gather outside of Mr. Letterman's CBS studio tomorrow and make themselves heard.
And hearing those protesters outside Dave's studio that Sean Hannity was talking about only further convinced me the controversy was overblown, given that they were holding up signs like this sex offender one and using exaggerated accusations like the ones you can see from the unidentified woman in this clip.
Keep children safe from David Letterman's mouth. He will rape them with his mouth. He is a child abuser. He is a verbal pedophile. Wake up. Go home and take care of your kids. They could be next.
Now, that over-the-top rhetoric may seem like an isolated reaction, but it also reflects the slightly more subtle but still apparent accusations of promoting pedophilia in Sarah Palin's statement about David Letterman that you can see Dave read the first part of here.
The next comment comes from Governor Palin concerning Letterman's comments about my young daughter, and I doubt he'd ever dare make such comments about anyone else's daughter. Laughter incited by sexually perverted comments made by a 62-year-old male celebrity. I am hardly a celebrity.
And as Dave continued reading,
aimed at a 14-year-old girl is not only disgusting, but it reminds us some Hollywood/New York entertainers have a long way to go in understanding what the rest of America understands, that acceptance of inappropriate sexual comments about an underage girl who could be anyone's daughter contributes to the atrociously high rate of sexually exploitation of minors by older men who use and abuse others.
Now, even Sarah Palin's reaction seemed a little strong to me there. After all, the joke we're talking about is the one that Dave told the week before here.
One awkward moment, though, during the game. Maybe you heard about it, maybe you saw it on one of the highlight reels. One awkward moment for Sarah Palin at the Yankee game. During the 7th inning, her daughter was knocked up by Alex Rodriguez.
Now, the audience seemed to like that joke. I didn't think it was particularly funny, but I certainly didn't think it was a joke about Sarah Palin's underage daughter when I saw it, because, like Dave, I didn't even know any of Sarah Palin's daughters were at the game, and so I believe Dave when he says,
"These are not jokes made about her 14-year-old daughter. I would never make jokes about raping or having sex of any description with a 14-year-old girl. I mean, look at my record. It has never happened. I don't think it's funny. I would never think it was funny. I wouldn't put it in a joke."
And when Dave asked us to look at his record, that's where I think I can actually vouch for Dave somewhat. I've been watching Dave since his first late-night show premiered in February 1982 when I was a junior in high school, and I've been watching his show fairly religiously since 1983 when I was a senior in high school and turned 18 so I could legally excuse my own absences from school and stay up a little later. Since that time, sometimes using videotapes and TiVos, I'm sure I've watched over 90% of Dave's broadcasts, and in that time, like Dave said, I can't recall him ever making jokes about rape, statutory or otherwise. Sure, Dave makes sex jokes all the time, playing to his young male audience like I was when I first started watching, so if you've been in the news for anything having to do with consensual sex, Dave is probably going to make a joke. He still makes jokes about Monica Lewinsky, Paris Hilton, and even Senator Larry Craig, so when Dave made a joke about Sarah Palin's daughter getting knocked up, I naturally thought of the Palin daughter who had just been on the cover of People magazine touting her teen pregnancy as an advertisement for abstinence. So the misunderstanding was natural, but Dave still apologized for it this week, as you can see here.
It's not your fault that it was misunderstood. It's my fault that it was misunderstood. Thank you. So I would like to apologize, especially to the two daughters involved, Bristol and Willow, and also to the governor and her family and everybody else who was outraged by the joke. I'm sorry about it, and I'll try to do better in the future.
That apology seems like more than enough to me, and may even leave some people needing to apologize to Dave, I think, but I want to know what you think. Did David Letterman's mistake in not realizing Sarah Palin attended the Yankee game with her younger daughter justify the sex offender and pedophile references targeted at Dave I showed both from those protesters and from Sarah Palin herself? And in terms of winners and losers, who won the media and political popularity war in this conflict? David Letterman? Sarah Palin? Both or neither?
YouTube, you decide.